Welcome back to round number 2 of our League Challenge today, our pre-Las Vegas Regional Championships League Challenge today at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. I am Dennis Geisler. I have Jason Tang here with me for one more round. And we're about to get into round number 2. We keep getting these, really exciting matchups. I'm used to some, not clunkers, but a little bit of less high-level ones in some of these earlier rounds in some cases, but we have Brian Perez and Josh Denk, two very good players in this region. So I'm really excited for this one. Brian Perez running the Ursulina Blood Moon, the Golden Go, Archaludon, Whimsicott, Bascu Legion, and Pelipper with that Jaboka berry. Jaboka? I guess Jaboka. Yeah. And Josh Denk running the Incineroar, Golden Ghost, Sneasler, Smeargle, Rillaboom, and Ursulina Blood Moon. So a lot of similarities on both of these teams. You do have the Tailwind support alongside the Blood Moon Ursaluna.
It's more of a support Blood Moon Ursaluna on Joshua's team with Calm Mind and it's
Calm
Mind.
It is the Calm Mind setup set. That's one that I've been seeing a bit more of lately, and I do enjoy. Just because if someone has to... Because that's the thing about Blood Moon, is that the move Blood Moon is such a protect bait that you can very much get a Calm Mind out of a lot of turns just because of the pressure that you're able to put down with Ursaluna in general. So it feels pretty good into a lot of matchups. I'm not sure how useful it'll be here. I'm not sure how useful Ursaluna will be here, but we'll certainly see. Both these teams have a lot of interesting pieces to them that I'm looking forward to seeing here.
One thing Terra Electric Ursaluna is able to do really effectively is wall out Goldengo, which I suspect that Brian has somewhere on the team, and he actually ends up leading Goldengo into this.
Yeah, not only is it really good at walling Goldengo, it's also really good at walling Pelipper. So I would be very surprised if we don't see the immediate terrestrialization from the Ursaluna, or a Protect, or a Switch Out, or something like that, but I would expect the Terra immediately in that case.
From Joshua's perspective, it's very difficult to see anything other than a Fake Out into Pelipper and a Calm Mind, Terra Electric, Ursaluna.
You know, it's funny.
You're doing so much damage.
You know what's funny, though, about the Fake Out into the Pelipper is that Incineroar would take more damage because of the Jaboka Berry.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Jaboka Berry, if you're hit by a physical type move, then your opponent takes 1/8 of their total HP.
We found this out 30 seconds ago, to be clear to the audience.
Yeah.
We've learned this recently.
And now you've learned it, so you can also be an expert on the meta Jaboka Berry.
Eventually I'll learn what all the berries do. It took me a long time to basically have the super effective berries memorized, and it just keeps getting harder. There is the Terra, as we mentioned, Terra Electric Blood Moon. Just such a good defensive typing in this metagame. And yeah, there's the Fake Out into the Archaludon, though, which had switched in there. We'll see the Nasty Plot on the Golden Go, and I believe we will probably see the Calm Mind on the Ursaluna. Yep, there's the Calm Mind. So the Archaludon's sturdy. Yeah. It's a fascinating team. Both Archaludon and Bascu Legion on this team are kind of built around not necessarily needing the Pelipper around, but getting some value from it if it is there. The problem here is that Archaludon and Golden Go are still going to have some issues with this Ursaluna.
Yeah, Ursaluna is threatening a one-hit KO on both Archaludon and Goldengo here. You have to wonder if Brian is considering going double up into the Ursaluna to try removing it quickly from the field, because I imagine +2 Shadow Ball will do quite a bit to it.
Yeah, and this is the leftovers set. It's not Assault Vest, so we'll take some solid damage from the Shadow Ball, but we're going to see the Archaludon move first, actually, which we don't usually see ahead of the Golden Go, I think.
A lot of these Terra Electrics 30 build on Archaludon, like running max speed. And Archaludon's actually quite speedy.
It's way faster than I give it credit for. Yeah. So it's actually going to be the double up into the Incineroar to pick that off early. I wonder if Brian's just like, yeah, I have answers to the Blood Moon somewhere. Maybe I won't take that much damage right now. Maybe it's fine if Golden Go disappears, which it absolutely will to the Earth Power there. But it's interesting that Brian decided that that was the priority there, was getting rid of the Incineroar. We'll see what the move is here. See what he has in the back, and it will be displaying his final Pokemon there. The Bascu Legion.
Basket Legion is so good here because it's really difficult to negate the damage that's coming out of it. It will just do so much damage to Ursaluna with that Wave Crash or Liquidation, what is actually carrying in this case.
Yeah, it's the Liquidation. That's very interesting.
Adaptability boosted, Focus Sash. It might be the fastest thing on the field during this turn.
It certainly should be, I would imagine. It is just a weird set. I just realized Josh has 3 fake-out Pokemon on his team. You can tell this team was made in Europe. There's the Protect there for the Archaludon, probably hoping that it's going to take a... Ooh, wow, Grassy Glide did a ton of damage to the Basket Legion there. Does go for the big Liquidation into Ursaluna. Solid damage there, and the Earth Power was aimed into the Archaludon. So not a bad turn there for Brian. You take a ton of damage on your Basket Legion. It'll get KO'd by another Grassy Glide, but I think the goal here for Brian will be get rid of the Blood Moon with Arch, and then potentially protect the Basket Legion.
The problem is that Brian is running out of rain turns. It's going to be really difficult to keep up this pressure with Basket Legion without rain not active, because that Liquidation boosted by rain does so much damage, but when it's not boosted by rain, is it even a 3-hit KO on this Ursaluna?
You do still have the Pelipper in the back at the very least, but I think the big thing is just... Okay, and it's actually going to be Basket Legion switching out here, so not the Protect, just going to be the switch out, which might be good if it eats the Grassy Glide and gives the Chiboka Berry damage. We'll see the Ursaluna Protect, so... That is a nice start here for Josh. It was the Grassy Glide and the Pelipper. It's not bad damage. There's the Chiboka Berry. Yeah, you see the berry eating, and then Rillaboom is hurt by Pelipper's Chiboka Berry. I've never seen that text before. And yeah, the Dragon Pulse was aimed into the Blood Moon. It still puts Brian in an okay spot, but it means now that your Pelipper is chunked a little bit. And Ursaluna keeps healing, actually. It's got the leftovers, it's got the grassy terrain, it's healing up quite a bit. It might actually take a hit from the Archaludon here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was able to take a Dragon Pulse plus a Weather Ball double up into it, just because of like, the +1 special defense boost. And also, it's like superior defensive typing, but instead you see Electroshock come out here from Archaludon.
Yeah, and it puts Brian in such an awkward spot because you either have to probably double up into this Ursaluna. We'll see if this picks up the KO. It does not. Nowhere even particularly close. Because you either have to double up, and the Rillaboom's actually faster than the Pelipper, and does pick up the KO with a Wood Hammer, and so this is a really good turn for Josh. I think that the Archaludon's going to get brought down to Sturdy here. Yep, there's the Earth Power into the Archaludon. 1 HP off the Sturdy. But that's a really good spot for Josh to be in now. And the rain is down. Exactly when it needs to for Josh here.
Yeah, now there's nothing stopping Josh from going from Grassy Glide plus Hyper Voice. This game is all but over.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't got no Hyper Voice, but he's still in a really good spot to just pick this one up, especially because Josh has one Pokemon in the back we haven't even seen yet. So there are a lot of options here. I think Grassy Glide into either one of these slots is enough to pick up the KO. It's just a question of, can you read a Protect here? Like, I think Brian's only possible way out of this. I don't even think there's a way out of it. Because even if you're able to make this turn work out, you read a Protect, you take the Grassy Glide, you're able to somehow KO the Ursaluna through all of it, there's still another Pokemon in the back, and it probably just picks up the game regardless. So I think Brian locked in the forfeit there. Yep. Josh Denk with the Game 1 victory. And, yeah, we saw the power of the Pivot Pals right there. Didn't pivot into each other, but certainly got a lot of work done between Incineroar kind of eating up a lot of the early pressure from the Golden Go and the Archaludon, as well as the Rillaboom just getting a ton of work done with that Grassy Glide with the Wood Hammer KOing the Pelipper. I wonder if Brian will say, okay, game number 2, I have to get a lot more aggressive against the Blood Moon. I have to expect the Terra Electric almost immediately. I have to just try to get as much damage down as possible onto that thing. And Whimsicott's not a bad start for that, if you want to go for a more, like, Tailwind offensive-oriented approach. That is basically what I would imagine, but it always feels not great when you are switching up your entire team between games 1 and 2 because you're like, oh man, I I messed up that lead kind of badly in game 1. Now I have to switch things up pretty substantially, or I just picked the wrong Pokemon and now I have to change things so significantly, not even expecting any changes from Josh. I just, like, don't have the right guys here.
One thing that Brian can do really interestingly is force out the Terra on his opponent's Ursaluna by leading something like Basculegion or Goldengo, and actually using your own Ursaluna to get those super effective Earth powers on the now Terra Electric Ursaluna.
Yeah, that's certainly not a bad option at all. You do have to be worried a tiny bit about
the Rillaboom and
about
the Sneasler.
Mostly, yeah, and the Sneasler.
Yeah, there's a lot of anti-Ursaluna hate here, so I'm really curious about how Brian approaches this game.
Ooh, Josh switches it up as well with the Blood Moon and the Sneasler. Those were the... We believe... Well, no. We saw the Blood Moon last time. I was paying attention. But the Sneasler is a bit of a switch-up. And that really changes what Brian is able to do with this lead here. You could try to pick up the... Well, the Smeargle is in kind of an awkward spot because Fake Out doesn't really have a target here, so it could just go for Tailwind or even Follow Me. The positive thing for Josh is that there's nothing really stopping you from, again, just clicking Terra Electric Calm Mind.
Well, there is also the added pressure from Whimsicott to go for something like the Taunt, or even Fake Tear, because Fake Tears plus Muddy Water is probably doing a ton of damage this Ursaluna here.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, actually. Even if it terastallizes, it'll do pretty solid damage. The Basculegion just actually switches directly in there. The Smeargle, you just Follow Me, potentially to try to stop the Taunt there. See, the Whimsicott does go for the Taunt, so that lands into the Smeargle. Smeargle's basically out of commission right now until it switches out, but you do get the Calm Mind up, and that's despite the Muddy Water being on the field, so that was a little bit of a risky play for Josh there, but certainly made it work. The Moody Boost, not going to be super meaningful here. I would imagine the Smeargle just hard switches out. It could even be a Protect switch here for Josh, potentially.
What really interesting thing about this Whimsicott is it does not have Encore, so
I was
there's
just
nothing preventing the Ursaluna going for the Protect and figuring out what Brian is going to do with this turn.
I was thinking that as well, where it's like, if it had Encore, this would be a lot more threatening of a turn. It would still be weird, but it would be a lot more threatening of a turn, but the fact that it doesn't have Encore means that you can just kind of launch out a Blood Moon into whatever, and you know that, like, the only bad thing it could hit is, like, Arch, Bold. It still does decent damage. We're gonna see the Smeargle switch out. Probably Rillaboom, I'd imagine, here. Yep, there's Rillaboom. There's the big old monkey. That immediately threatens that Basculegion. Well, not that quickly, but Basculegion's going to swap out as well. Back into the Pelipper. We'll see now if we get... Yeah, there's the Terra from the Ursaluna, probably. Yep, there we go. It's just such a good defensive typing in this metagame. There are obviously ground-type moves that hit it well, mostly from the Bears, but man, does it feel good against rain teams. There is the taunt into the Ursaluna, so it's not able to protect anymore, or go for a second Calm Mind, but certainly able to do that. Absolutely shreds the Whimsicott with the Blood Moon, picks up the one-hit KO, and we are quickly moving towards a decisive victory for Josh, unless Brian can figure out something here. Which maybe he has it with the Ursaluna in the back.
Interestingly enough, like, Brian could potentially play for an endgame with, like, Last Respect's Basculegion, and try taking out this Ursaluna and Rillaboom here on his opponent's end. That's one thing that Last Respect is really interesting for. It gets stronger for every single Pokemon that you have paint.
Yeah. That's certainly true, but at the same time, you do kind of have to get through these Pokemon here, is part of the issue. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying that this turn is so critical here, especially just because there is Fake Out pressure.
Especially Brian did not get up Tailwind or get the fake tears off on the Ursaluna to allow this Pelipper to do so much damage.
There's really not a lot of damage being threatened to this Ursaluna right now, and if you didn't bring out the Bascule Legion here, you were just going to get fake-outed, probably like even fake-out Earth Power, and I doubt it would have KO'd, but it would have gotten kind of close. And Pelipper couldn't do anything, because Pelipper has no damage against Ursaluna, so it's a real awkward spot to be in. We're going to see the fake-out into the Pelipper. We're going to get that Jaboka Berry damage in return. Blood Moon can't go a second time. We'll see the Liquidation into the Ursaluna. It's good damage. I mean, we keep seeing it do pretty solid damage. Pelipper takes the fake-out flinch. There's the Earth Power. Does this KO the Bascule Legion? No. 31 HP remaining, so very close, but not going to get there.
The Bascule Legion is also focus sashed, so...
That's true. I'm paying attention. Don't you worry. I am paying attention to the items on all of these Pokemon. In any case, I mean, we're in a similar issue as the previous game, where Rillaboom can go for a Grassy Glide and kind of trap the Bascule Legion here. And after that happens, I mean, Ursaluna's still taunted, so it can't go for a Protect, but it can just go for a Blood Moon and say, okay, well, if we can get KOs this turn, like, this game's pretty over. We're going to see it here. It's actually with a Terra Steel on the Pelipper, which I think is interesting. It definitely lets you take a Blood Moon here. Probably lets you take a Blood Moon here. I'm actually not going to say definitely. I'm not that sure. Bascule Legion will Protect to try to get through an extra turn here.
I say, it feels like a lot of these options that Brian putting forward is too little too late, especially since Josh makes a small read to go attack into the Pelipper instead of going for the KO into the Bascule Legion.
Hurricane did, like, no damage. I was like, okay, and the Hurricane's going to KO. The Hurricane did not even come close to KOing. It was another Earth Power into the Bascule Legion, so not really KO range there for anything, but Josh didn't make a bad set of plays there, and now the Bascule Legion can't Protect again. The Ursaluna should shake off its taunt right about now. Come on, prove me correct. Yeah! So it'll be able to Protect this turn, and there's not really a problem with just aiming into the Bascule Legion slot with a Grassy Glide. Worst case scenario, something else switches in and eats a Grassy Glide, and we know that's not going to be happy with that.
The one weird thing that could happen with that, though, is you can get hit in confusion because the Hurricane did confuse the Rillaboom.
Confusion is a potential confounding factor here.
Now, if you're Brian, you really just have to hope that you're going to get the confusion and try killing, fainting the Ursaluna this turn.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of good choices here if you are Brian. You do just kind of have to hope for the confusion here because you're so far behind in this game. Ursaluna just Protects. That also makes a lot of sense. We'll see if this is a Grassy Glide out of the Rillaboom. It is not. Well, it might be. Aqua Jet goes first and does not get anywhere near enough to KO because it's protected, but it also wouldn't be enough. We're going to get the Grassy Glide next, I think.
And the Rillaboom fails to go for the Grassy Glide.
It doesn't get it. I think it actually would have gone next regardless, because I think it's faster than the Pelipper, I think we saw. So it could have gone for something other than the Grassy Glide there, but in any case, it's still not an ideal spot, especially because this Ursaluna keeps healing up. It's not going to drop to a Weather Ball plus an Aqua Jet here, I don't think.
I don't
Liquidation
think you'll even,
plus Weather Ball maybe, but
I don't think you'll even fate to a Liquidation from this Bascule Legion now, just because Rain has ended.
Oh yeah, that's also true. With Rain over, it's not taking any damage here. Like, I don't think any combination of moves on the field here is able to KO the Ursaluna from this range. Bascule Legion will Protect. The thing is, we know that Pelipper can't Protect. Eventually, Rillaboom will be allowed to act. Goes for the high horsepower into the into the Pelipper and misses. That is tough. Muddy Water misses the Rillaboom. Ursaluna, gets crit.
Oh,
the critical hit is significant there. There are a lot of really, really nice things happening for Brian right now.
Yeah, before we thought the game was completely over, but Brian gets potentially a lifeline thrown to him by his Pelipper, critting this muddy water.
Yeah, it's still a little dicey. I think Josh will just have to play this a lot slower for the next couple of turns, because the grassy terrain is down now, but you could just go for, like, a Protect plus a switch out, even into the Smeargle, which isn't really going to do anything, but at least is going to provide a tiny bit of pressure here. But this is an opportunity for Brian to potentially try to get back into this one.
Yeah, Smeargle switching in can notably spore everything on the field. It is faster than both the Ursaluna and likely the Basculegion here.
Yeah, it might actually be faster than the Basculegion. I'm interested to see if that's the case, especially after Moody, potentially. We're going to see the Protect on the Ursaluna, which makes a lot of sense here, but that does mean that it's pretty threatened by the Pokemon on the field now. I wonder, so we will see. Ooh, the defense boost is actually oh, but the speed drop. Okay, both of those are actually kind of significant here.
The speed drop doesn't matter quite as much because Smeargle still has the fake out that it can go for into the Ursaluna.
It certainly does,
cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, I guess I forgot that Smeargle does still have the fake out turn to be working off of here. Although I wonder if you go for something just like a liquidation to Ursaluna plus a switch back into Pelipper. Just to try to take out the Ursaluna here, because if you can do that, you're at least a little bit back in the game.
But unfortunately, Brian does not find the play.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. I'm curious where this is gonna go, because I don't think that. Yeah, I was going to say I think Follow Me makes a lot of sense here for the Smeargle. It will be the liquidation. We'll see how well it takes this. Okay, it doesn't go down to Sash, but it gets pretty darn close. Hyper Voice KOs the Smeargle, does not KO the Ursaluna. Let's see how much damage that it does with whatever it goes for here. It's going to be the Blood Moon into the other Ursaluna, +1 against the Assault Vest, down to 17 HP on the Ursaluna there. It's not enough to KO, but it might be enough to win this one for Josh. Because I'd expect to see the Rillaboom come back in here. Although, Josh is getting kind of concerning on these health bars. The HP bars are a little bit lower than you would necessarily want them to be right now. The Rillaboom's low, the Ursaluna's low, but it keeps healing, so maybe it's fine. But you do have to worry a little bit, and I don't think, because every Pokemon on the field right now, other than Ursaluna, has a priority move. I don't think Aqua Jet KOs Rillaboom from this range.
Well, Ursaluna on Brian's end also has Vacuum Wave, which is so much
all except for Josh's Ursaluna.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. I realize that there are a lot of bears here. Yeah, so Vacuum Wave is available, but the thing is, Grassy Glide should go ahead of Vacuum Wave.
One bear,
for
two
this
bear,
case.
Red bear, green bear.
Yeah, there's so much. There's just so much. We're gonna see Ursaluna just switch out, potentially just scared of the Grassy Glide there. Pelipper is going to hit the field now. I would expect to Protect out of the Ursaluna on Josh's side here. Oh no, it's Grassy Glide into the Basculegion. Just picks up the call there, and no Protect on the Ursaluna, so it's probably an Earth Power, and that'll basically be the game. Yeah, there's the Earth Power. It has to target the Pelipper there, and that, I think decides it. I think the game's over. No way that the single Ursaluna is going to be able to get this one done.
Yeah, I really like the way that Brian tried to approach this game, especially with the Whimsicott pressure, like allowing for like the -2 drop into the Ursaluna, but unfortunately it was all too little too late with the execution.
Yeah, the big thing is just you have to be able to find ways to get pressure onto the Ursaluna turn number 1, prevent it from getting that Calm Mind active, because it gets pretty scary pretty quickly if you do not. So I think Grassy Glide should just clean this one up here.
To be frank, I'm not completely sure what Josh is contemplating that turn. Whether or not maybe to Grassy Glide his own Ursaluna or the extra style points.
It would be fun. And we didn't even see Josh's 4th Pokemon in either one of those games.
Okay. And that was a lovely game. And for our round 2, we have Joshua Denk proceeding on to round 3 at 2-0.
Yeah, already a really, really good start for Josh. And Brian's still certainly in it. 1-1 with a loss to Josh is not going to knock you out by any means. It will probably be good for your resistance in the long run. But in any case, we are going to take a very quick break, and we will be back with round number... Well, I'll be back with round number 3. You'll be leaving.
I will be abandoning you because I am just intimidated by this quality of Pokemon that we're seeing here today.
It's been really good so far. In any case, we will see you after the break.